Hello, I welcome you all to this session. In this session, we are going to see about Anaximander, who is one of the top 10 Greek ancient philosophers. Okay, in previous session we saw about Anaxagoras, okay, who is very skillful. In this one, we are going to see about the Anaximander. Okay, Anaxagoras is credited as being the first to establish a philosophy in its entirely in Athens, a place where it would go to reach its peak and continue to have an impact on society for hundreds of years to come. So if you see means the Anaxagoras, okay, that is the philosopher about whom we saw in the previous session. Okay, he is the person who established a philosophy in which he says that there is something in this universe which is existing, okay, and it is having homogeneous and heterogeneous, and it is segregated according to this homogeneous and heterogeneous. And also we can see that the particle, the thing which is there, okay, it aggregates, it gets formed when alike things, okay, alike, okay, alike one, they get aggregates, and when some thing which is not alike, it comes means it gets disrupt, okay, and most often that it depends upon the preponderance. This is what is the philosophy of Anaxagoras. Okay, now we are going to see about Anaximander. Okay, Anaximander devoted much of his time to explaining nature as it is, taking the universe as an undifferentiated mass until it was worked upon by a spiritual component which he called nous. Not nous, nous, N-O-U-S, nous, meaning mind. Okay, so gentlemen, this thing, it came into my mind in previous session itself, but I forgot to ask you, can you say the difference between philosopher, a sage, and an ordinary man? Yeah, to this I can help you by giving you few examples. Adage, I think you might have heard about adage. Okay, for example, they say kalyanam panniparu, veeda kattiparu, okay, and sages are there, okay, spiritual persons are there, they give their own opinion, okay, that is their what is it, experience that they have got spiritual in spirituality, okay, and the philosophers are the learned known persons, okay, who give their opinion based upon their experience that they have gained, okay, from their life and from their education. Okay, this is the difference between an ordinary man, a sage, and a philosopher, gentleman. Okay, hope you might have got the point. If not, please raise your questions. Inshallah, I will give a brief note on this philosopher, sage, ordinary man. Okay, or else in the voice of Shah Rukh Khan, I can say common man. Okay, I'm just joking. Okay, jokes apart. Okay, let me come to the point. So whatever the thing is, that he based on the nature, and he thought that this can be worked upon basis of a spiritual component. Okay, so whatever it is there, okay, the present in the universe, either it is in the form of nature, or it is in the form of some superpower, okay, or whatever it is, it can be worked, and it can be what is that, we can come to a conclusion with the help of the spirituality. That's what the point here he says. Okay, and that spirituality, that what he called is mind. Okay, probably I think it is in Greek, nous, N-O-U, nous, which in present the synonym is mind. Okay, let me continue. He believed that in the physical world everything contained a part of everything else. Yeah, so this man, okay, he had his own thought, okay, that everything he believed, a belief. Okay, so once again, please don't mistake me. Can you say the difference between trust, faith, belief? Okay, please take this thing as your assignment. Okay, and you uh, see the difference between trust, belief and faith, and just report it to me, or else in a note, rough note, whatever it is. I mentioned today's date, that is probably I think today is 27, okay, if I'm right, or 26 today. Okay, let me check it out. Yeah, today is 26, okay, 26 September. You can take a note and you can just make a note of it, 26, and you can just write the difference between trust, faith and belief, and inshallah when we happen to meet in person in the classroom, you show it to me. Okay, let me come to the point. So he believed that the physical world everything contained a part of everything else. Okay, so everything in everything, this I would like to explain with the help of mathematicals, the circles, there interlocking circle they say. Okay, two circles which interlocks means probably, okay, there will be for example A circle is there, B circle is there. When this both are interlocked means there will be a small space which is called C. Okay, I am just mentioning it. I don't know the proper name of the circles or whatever it is. Okay, so you can just imagine. So everything, this A and B are interlocked with something which is common among them, which we call it as a C. Okay, nothing was pure on its own and everything was jumbled together in chaos. So nothing is pure. Even for example, gentlemen, if you take a small battery, okay, either a AAA battery or A battery, you can see we have got positive and negative. Okay, I think you will agree to me. No battery is with full positive on the both the ends, or will put negative on both the ends. So it has got both positive and negative, so it's not pure on its own. I'm just giving my own perception. Okay, okay gentlemen, for your comprehension, good comprehension. Okay, and everything was jumbled together in chaos. So everything is intermixed, okay, jumbled, mixed, and how the state is in a chaos. Okay, so what is this chaos? What is this? Chaos means undisturbed. So sorry, disturbed, very much disturbed. Okay, this is what actual it means. Okay, let me continue. The application of nouns assigns a certain motion and meaning to this chaos. Okay, so here what he said before 2 or 3 lines, that spiritually we can find the spiritual component, we can apply it to see the real what actually the belief of this physical world that he has got. That's what he said, isn't it, before 2 or 3 lines. Okay, and the same one here he says that the application of the nous, that is the spirituality, and which he called as nous, N-O-U-S, okay, which is the synonym of mind. Okay, now here the application of nous, that is spiritual mind, assigns a certain motion and meaning to this chaos. Absolutely, gentlemen. Alhamdulillah, I have understood this. Okay, that there is a saying. What is it? In every blessing, sorry, just a minute. Yeah, I got it. In every blessing, there is a trial, and in every trial, there is a blessing. Okay, some maturity is needed to understand this, gentleman. Yeah, Alhamdulillah, you are matured persons. Okay, when Allah wish, you will understand what I said, because it is not my words. Somewhere I saw this thing. Okay, in every blessing there is a trial. In every trial there is a blessing. Okay, one who understands it, he gets successful. Okay, let us come back to the subject. Anaximander of Miletus is the famous pupil of Thales himself. Okay, yeah, two commas are there in between that, and in many ways a philosophical successor. Okay, he is not just the people means student, okay, or disciple. Okay, disciple is not right, student is the right one, student, and also he is the successor of the philosophy of Thales himself. He is credited as being the first known writer of philosophy. So on what basis they say that he is the first known writer of philosophy? On the basis of, because there is a surviving lines of Western philosophy which were written by this man. On that basis they say that he is the first known writer on philosophy. Okay, he is also well known in the fields of early biology and geography. And yeah, move away from the notion. Okay, something I have skipped out, let me check it out. Yeah, the skipped one is he created the first world image of an open universe. Okay, he is the person who gave the image of open universe, how it would be something like a map. Okay, you move away from the notion of a closed universe, making him the first speculative astronomer in human history. Okay, so by giving the map of the universe in the sense of the cosmology, cosmos, okay, that is the stars, sun, in some sorry to say this, in Tamil they say Ragu, Kedu, all these things are based on the planets. Okay, so he is the person who gave the status, the the picture of the planets, where all those things. Okay, so this man is considered as the first one as the astronomer in the human history, and before him I think according to the lines which we read, that there was no existing map either of planets or of universe or Milky Way or any cosmos. He is the first person who gave the clear-cut picture, not clear-cut, a picture of a universe. Okay, he further extended the philosophical views of his Thales, who is one of the Greek philosopher, especially in mathematics and astronomy. Okay, let us come to the point. He further extended the philosophical views of his master, that is Thales, proposing an arc or a principle that he believed to be the basis of the whole universe. So each and every philosopher, they have got their own beliefs. Okay, here he has got the belief which is based on principle belief, which he called as an arc, A-R-C-H-E, not archy, arch. Okay, as the basis for this whole universe which is existing. But unlike Thales, he thought that this basis had an apeiron, that is an unlimited substance. Okay, the source or the basis, whatever it is apeiron, it is unlimited, it has got no limit. That is what is the thing. He slightly deviates from his master, who this Anaximander, from his master Thales. Okay, that acted as a source for everything, and that unlimited power or source of the substance or the thing, whatever it is, that is the one which is the source for everything in this universe. That is what is the point of this Anaximander, the philosopher. Okay, the source acted as the prime point of differentiation for polar opposites like hot and cold, light and dark, and so on. So the thing that is the unlimited one, it is there, no. Okay, that source, okay, acted as a prime point of differentiation, okay, in differentiating between two. Okay, just before I said positive or negative, something like the, not something like that, similar to that one, like hot and cold, how we say hot and how we say cold. If it is water is there, okay, we know what is its natural form or substance, or else what, how I can say its nature. Okay, so probably 0 or +1 or +2 3 degrees. Okay, or else in winter season -1, that's it out, I think so. Okay, when we heat it, what happens, it gets more hot. Okay, it reaches either 90 degrees or 100. I'm not very good in mathematics or all those things. Okay, so whatever the number, it goes. And same, if you keep the same water in the refrigerator, okay, probably it will turn into ice. Under some certain temperature, the water turns into ice. That is extreme cold. Okay, now I think you might have understood. Water is there, that is the substance is there. Okay, on the basis of the unlimited substance aperion, okay, on that these things, all these things, it works. It works as a source of everything. Okay, so the source, it acts as a prime point in differentiating hot and cold, light and dark, and so on. Much of his work remains truncated, especially at the hands of subsequent generations of philosophers. But he was indeed one of the greatest minds in ancient Greece. So much of his works are there, which are supposed to be carried out by the philosophers, whoever is there to take or to become his successors, to carry on. Okay, and even though all of his philosophies are not explored, okay, he is considered as one of the great minds in ancient Greeks. This is what is, gentlemen, about the eighth philosopher of the one of the top 10 Greek ancient philosophers, who ranks 8th in our book. Okay, hope you might have understood. If not, please raise your questions. Inshallah, if you want, I will make you one more video on the basis of Anaximander in a very explained way, by which you can understand in very well. Thank you, gentlemen. See you in the next session. Bye.